All right, I'm here with Laura Isaacs again with Fischer Homes, and I'm Heather Pilcher, realtor here in Northern Kentucky. And we are going to kind of talk to a specific family type that we have worked with recently. A lot of times we have people that are relocating from out of state to the Cincinnati suburbs, and they've landed on Northern Kentucky, but then they say, we have no idea what community, we have no idea what floor plan. But what we do know is we have a budget between maybe like 700,000 to a million, and I really love how much home I can buy with Fischer Homes. So, with that being said, we're going to kind of dive in here to some of the communities on the northern Kentucky side of the river. So, Laura, which communities do you feel like are the most popular if someone's looking like 700,000 and up?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of communities that fall really great into that area right now. So if they want to be close to the downtown area, then they can come to the Tuscany community and they could build for that price range for sure. Several different products, but the single families there, we can do that price range. Can even get your basement finished and all in that price range. Um, a little bit further south, then you could go to the Union area to the Ballyshannon community. That has been a very popular community this year. We just added another, I think, 800, maybe 1,000 lots there.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a very big, boisterous community. It has lots of different families and lots of different home types there. So price points, so it's kind of like a little melting pot. So you can build that home that has the 4 to 6 bedrooms or more, whether or not you finish your basement, or you can get a smaller home there as well.
Yeah. So we'll dive into some of these floor plans here in just a second. But Ballyshannon, I love, like you had said, there's the big masterpiece collection homes, and you can get a beast of a house for the price point that we're talking about. So
Right.
there's a couple of the higher, like the highest price point. If you say, okay, I have this budget, what is the biggest, nicest house you can get me? Laura, which ones are obviously some of these are newer, but which ones are the most popular and would you recommend looking at?
So the Pearson is one of our newest ones that we've added to our mix, and it has been so popular.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be one of our top sellers this year, actually. So
Yeah.
um, it it has that nice two-story family room, the really big open kitchen with that gigantic furniture island. Um, so you can add the stone fireplace if you want to, or a shiplap fireplace, just lots of diversity to that. So see that nice big area.
Yeah.
You also get a study on the main floor. You can actually have a guest suite on the main floor and a rec space on the main floor. So lots of different, we call them flex spaces, where you can create different spaces in that home. And if you're entertaining or you have family members that are different ages and they want to hang out and congregate because you're entertaining, you can have different spaces for them to go. So
Yeah.
you also get a loft upstairs, so that's nice. Nice big master bedroom, owner suite.
Yes. So
Great.
nice.
Yeah,
So
nice.
in Ballyshannon, you guys, this is a base price of 590, which is insane that you could even start this size of a house. So realistically, Laura, if we were to build out the Pearson and bling it out, like do everything crazy, finish the basement, what do you think ish our price point would be at the end?
I would think you'd be somewhere in that 850 to 950, depending on your selections and finishes.
Yeah, which again is crazy because this house feels huge and has tons of accommodation space for family, but it's so affordable.
Yeah. And now those square foot feet that you see on that screenshot right there, that does not include the basement. That does not include finishing the basement. So when you add finishing the basement, you're adding another at least 1,000 square feet to the home that you're finishing.
Yeah, so this is a fabulous plan. I think having the option to do that suite on the first floor in addition to the upstairs primary suite is a huge game changer from what we've heard from clients. Okay, so what other floor plans do you feel like are most popular?
I'd say another new one that's coming alive and really popular is the roads right there. So it takes our we have a 5 level plan that's been real popular, and this one takes the 5 level plan, but it also adds the 3 car garage as part of the footprint of the house. So you get that extra garage space because um, when you have a lot of people living in the home, you're probably going to need more space for toys, right? And stuff in the garage. So
Yeah.
whether or not you finish all of that space or add on that picture, it's showing a tandem garage off to the side, you
Mhm.
can have that additional.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
think some of these exteriors are so trendy and fun. These
Hmm.
are, some of the newer floor plans and they just look a little bit different. And I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's the interior pictures. Same kind of concept, the two-story family room.
Hmm.
But yeah, really like that. And so since we're talking about Ballyshannon, we'll kind of price drop 600,000 base price. So same thing. You feel like, what do you feel like the budget would be?
I would say that would probably build out right about the same thing, maybe a little bit higher than the Pearson because the 5 level plan a bit more cost to them. So
Mhm.
maybe more like that 875 to 975 price range.
Yeah. And I would add to like that's the price, like literally blinging out everything that you could do. So
Correct.
let me go back to which one of these do you think has the best pictures if we were to show some of the accents and things that people could do?
Let's go to that Pearson.
Okay.
And if you scroll down to the bottom, you can click on that Ballyshannon model.
Okay. This one right here.
Scroll on down.
Oh,
There you go, Ballyshannon model.
okay. Perfect.
Yeah, so that shows a lot of these extras that you can add. So we did the shiplap fireplace in that one. We added a huge covered deck. If you look out those windows, that's a huge covered deck out there,
Yeah.
16 by 23 or 4, I think.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah. Really nice.
and that furniture island is gigantic. You can seat, those are pretty big chairs. You actually could fit 2 more on one side of it.
Yeah.
So you could fit 5
Mhm.
people there. And then you have that rec space right behind the kitchen.
Yeah. So, and you can
Right.
kind of see there's that big fireplace stack that we were looking at with the kitchen, then dining, little formal sitting area. And a lot of people I've seen could use this as like a homeschool room, or they put their baby grand piano or like a
Mhm.
little den. So there's a lot that you can do with that space for sure.
Yeah.
And then I point out too, like people love these tray ceilings. That's a small upgrade, but there's a lot of those types of things you can add to really bling it out. And I personally love the tile shower with this separate large tub. It feels
Hmm.
really nice and high end.
And I think a lot of people are liking the split vanities so that you have your space and your husband has his space, or and then you're not like right on top of each other getting ready.
Yes.
Or if you have girls in your family and they come get ready with you, you've got plenty of room, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, a great point. So kind of going back, just overview to all the different options. So Union is a super popular area, up and coming. There's some really great opportunities to build some of these floor plans. And then is maybe there any other one that you'd like to feature real quick as far as single family options for that price point?
So for that price point, the single family option would be you can do a designer version of those homes in Tuscany,
Mhm.
or in Reserves of Meadowood, which is right at that Crescent Springs area,
Mhm.
again off of the Buttermilk Pike area. To down, yep, that one. Reserves of Meadowood. Yep.
So the Grandin, for example, for this type of community is the same thing as the Mitchell, right?
Correct. Correct.
So by talking with me and Laura, you can get all the ins and outs. You're like, wait a minute, I thought that this floor plan was called something different, and it might just be depending on the collection and the community that you're in.
Right.
So we would love to sit down and just help you narrow things down. Something that we're really good at is looking at a similar floor plan that you saw that maybe was resale or with a different builder and being able to match and compare and kind of create and design your own dream home. So for the families that are relocating and they want to have some more customization, you can build these houses, or there's the market homes again that are kind of in the process of being built that were professionally designed. And they're more friendly for that quicker timeline if you have to get moved into something within the next few months. So you can reach out to us with the information on the screen, and we would love to be a resource to you.